Straight ahead on Point News, President Obama visits Pittsburgh, and we have team coverage. Why the president says this local steel plant is setting an example the whole country should follow. Plus, the plan that he has to get Americans saving with just $25.
And an on-campus restaurant closes over winter break. We know why and what the university plans to do with the now empty space.
And winter isn't going anywhere just yet. Record cold temperatures, snow, and ice. We'll tell you what's in store for this weekend. Point News starts now.
Live from our studio in downtown Pittsburgh, you're watching Point News.
Good afternoon, I'm Joanne Petotsky.
And I'm Ryan Bailey. It had the energy of a campaign stop and the crowd to match.
When President Obama began his post-State of the Union tour, he made Pittsburgh a priority by visiting U.S. Steel's Irvin plant in West Mifflin. This afternoon, we have team coverage of the president's speech and the executive order he signed right here.
Let's begin with reporter Chris Hoffman to explain why the president chose U.S. Steel.
President Obama is once again bringing national and international focus to the city of Pittsburgh. Dozens of news organizations and hundreds of people will be in attendance to hear about the economic example set here at the U.S. Steel Irvin plant in West Mifflin.
This company helped build America, and over 100 years later, you're still at it.
Workers were excited to see President Obama take a tour of their facilities and were impressed with how much he knew.
He took a lot of time, he talked to us. He was really knowledgeable. It kind of took us by surprise that he knew as much as he did.
President Obama said U.S. Steel is one of the great stories of recovery from the economic recession.
Every single one of you is doing your part to make the country stronger. Because of your efforts, businesses like U.S. Steel have now created 8 million new jobs over the past 4 years.
Mr. Obama addressed several economic issues, but his main point was retirement funds and explained that's one reason that brought him here. He said while many workers struggle with retirement, U.S. Steel has set up a reliable program that allows its workers to retire with security. This is why Mr. Obama decided to sign his MyRA memorandum at the facility.
Wherever I can take steps to expand opportunity for more families, regardless of what Congress does, that's what I'm going to do.
President Obama believes 2014 can be the year of action for the United States. For Point News, I'm Chris Hoffman.
Our team coverage continues now with reporter Kelsey Metzger. Kelsey, the president initiated a new program that will mean big changes for Americans with plans of retirement.
That's right. It's called MyRA. President Obama says it will allow Americans to have a nest egg and allow them to retire with security.
So here's what I'm going to do today. This is what this little table's set up for. I'm going to sign a presidential memorandum to create a new way for working Americans to start their own retirement savings. And we're calling it MyRA.
With that, steelworkers watched as the president signed the groundbreaking plan. It will allow workers to contribute through automatic paycheck deductions, contribute as little as $5 at a time, open with as little as $25, keep the same account even if you change jobs, and there is no penalty if you need to withdraw money early.
As an individual, that would mean a lot to me because I don't have a defined pension that I'm going to get. Our organization provides us, obviously, with a retirement, but I think that will go a long way. I'm anxious to see how it's all going to work out, and they said that there won't be penalties from when you withdraw from it, so I'm interested in the details from it.
President Obama said the program is safe because it's backed by the federal government. Joanne and Ryan?
Right now, Point Park University is searching for something to replace the Osteria 100 restaurant.
Despite the fact that it was a great location for the thousands of students on campus, it didn't do well enough to stay open.
Reporter Chris Hoffman talked one-on-one with University President Paul Hennigan about the situation, and also with a student who was supposed to help advertise for the restaurant, but now has a different job.
Osteria closed its doors to Point Park University students and changed the direction of one student's internship. Senior ad and PR major Alec Robertson worked as one of the Osteria interns since it opened in the fall of 2012.
We were hired to market, advertise, and do PR for Osteria, the restaurant on campus.
Osteria lasted 3 semesters at Point Park before it closed over the 2013 winter break. Point Park president Paul Hennigan said Osteria left because they did not meet their sales expectations. Robertson is now conducting research as to why the restaurant did not do well.
The perception of it was that it was fancy, it was just too nice looking. It looked too expensive. It wasn't that expensive, but it looked too expensive.
Point Park is now facing the task of filling the area on the first floor of Frontier Hall.
We have a group of folks at the university, including some students, who will be involved in the selection of the next operator.
Robertson is part of the student committee trying to find a new restaurant to fill this space here at the corner of Wood Street and First Avenue. Robertson will continue his research for the next month as the school determines his internship. The research and student feedback will be used to find a new restaurant for Point Park. Robertson hopes that with all the student input, the new restaurant will be much more student-friendly. For Point News, I'm Chris Hoffman.
Still to come on Point News, he's known around the world as being one of the best in the business when it comes to turning glass into art. So why did this world-class glassblower say he may have come to Pittsburgh at the wrong time?
We've seen our fair share of snow and cold temperatures this winter, and it's not over yet. What we can expect this weekend coming up around 2:15.
We are a social people. We share our inspiration, wisdom, creations, and memories. We share what makes us laugh and what angers us. Built on the notion of a free flow of ideas, our country thrives on the freedom of speech. Without it, who would watch over our governing powers? And how would we share our history to make a difference for the future? It's this freedom to share that gives us a reason to listen.
Hi, you're tuned into Point Park University Television, and UView is for you. Stacy?
Yes, Dan. UView is for you.
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 UView is for you. UView is for you. UView is for you.
To me, freedom of speech means there are no barriers to voice opinions. Communication is key to a functioning society and relationships in those societies. I believe our forefathers gave us this right, so if concerns or problems arise, we have the right to respectively use words, aids, and body language to give our message. Compromise may not always be met, but when it does meet, it opens up the world to new ideas, relationships, and makes the world become a happier place.
Welcome back to Point News. Many call him the world's best glassblower, and he brought his talent to Pittsburgh, all the way from Italy, to help share his love of the craft. Reporter Johnny Frywald got an exclusive interview with a man who spent decades changing the way the world sees art.
Not only is Pittsburgh home to many of its own artists, but artists from all over the world come to visit our city. This week, Lino Tagliapiace came to visit Pittsburgh Glass Center. The world-renowned glassblower came to Pittsburgh to share his talent for colorful Venetian-style glass. The fire in the glass furnace helped keep him warm from our sub-zero temperatures, which he admits this might not have been the best week to come to the Steel City.
I choose the wrong moment, but I like the idea. I like to know the people. Because everybody talk about Pittsburgh, how nice they are, blah, 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 you know. Also, I want to see what is going on. You know, I like the idea to see the studio, work in the studio, know the people, curiosity. I think it's like this.
Lino, who was born in Murano, Italy, started his apprenticeship at just 12 years old and has been blowing glass nearly his entire life.
I started very, very young. My mother, she never liked it. I became glass blower, blow glass. But I decided, and then I still like it.
His mother may not have liked the idea, but the world still appreciates his talent. After blowing glass for nearly 70 years, Lino continues to find joy in the art and has no plans to stop.
The material is fantastic. I think the material glass is incredible media. If you are involved with one kind of virus, they catch you. It's a very difficult to stop.
His work is featured in many prestigious museums and galleries all over the world. For Point News Reporting, I'm Johnny Frywald.
It seems that all things eventually lead back to Pittsburgh, and that's the case with the man who now heads up the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Foundation. Joel Perezman came to his hometown last week and made a special stop at Point Park to inspire students. The Sports, Arts, and Entertainment Management Department hosted the event at the George Rowland White Theater. Perezman says his career was inspired by a love of music. It started in the mailroom of the William Morris Talent Agency and continued from there.
The barrier for entry to the music business really is no barrier for entry to the music business, educationally or otherwise. You have to have the drive and the interest in it. Two, from a technological standpoint, it's unprecedented what you can do now.
Business is all about opportunity and chance. He encouraged them not to be afraid to take a chance on something new because it could be the next big thing.
Taste of snow and ice, now we're looking ahead to the blast of cold that's sticking to us.
Freedom of speech is my right as an American to voice my opinion, or if I choose to stay silent. I have the right to practice my religion. I have the right to publish my own works. With this right, we can be creative, innovative, and change the world. For more information, visit www.freedomofspeechpsa.org.
An expression, a belief, a symbol, freedom to worship, an unspoken word. To express yourself means standing up for what you believe in. There's a freedom to worship and a freedom to live. To speak never saying a word, to love, to let your voice be heard. The light of your own path. For more information, visit www.freedomofspeechpsa.org.
Do you know all the things you can do with your student ID? Along with getting discounts to some of the restaurants around campus. Showing your Point Park ID can net you deals on tickets at theaters in the Cultural District. To check out all the current options, just search Student Discounts on the Point Park University homepage.
What does freedom of speech mean to you? Take a second to think about it. Does that freedom mean you can say whatever you want, whenever you want? Or does that freedom of speech mean something deeper? There is no right or wrong answer to the question. My answer to what does freedom of speech means to me is simple. Freedom of speech is a privilege that I myself, along with many others, have thanks to the individuals who have fought and continue to fight for it today. We are able to express ourselves through writing, art, and even our body language.
Welcome back to Point News. The Pittsburgh Cultural Trust has announced a ticket lottery for the hit Broadway musical Wicked.
All you have to do is arrive at the box office at Theater Square 2.5 hours before a performance. If your name is drawn, you could win 2 orchestra tickets, only $25 each. Sales are cash only and your photo ID is required. Wicked runs now through February 9th.
The theater performance of Heads made its debut at the Pittsburgh Playhouse Theater last week. Crew members began making preparations for the show during the fall semester. Scenic designer Britton Malk worked behind the scenes to create the set and stage scenery to bring director John Shepard's creative vision to life.
Working with Pittsburgh Playhouse, and I'm very proud of what we've created.
Run through February 16th. Tickets can be purchased at the Pittsburgh Playhouse box office.
Well, these past couple weeks we've been coming into contact with some freezing temperatures, and this next coming week doesn't look any different. So now we're going to take a look at the Thursday, or the current temperatures. We are at 22 degrees in Butler, and then Katanning we're at 23 with the highs, and then the 18 low in Johnstown. Well, here's the 5-day forecast for you. On Thursday, we're at the high of 24 degrees with the low of 9 degrees, so be careful. There might be some black ice, and the precipitation is going to be a little bit snow, so we're going to see some flurries here and there. And then on Friday, we're going to be at the high of 22 degrees with the low of 9 as well. And then moving on to Saturday for your weekend, we're going to be at a high of 29 degrees with the low of 23 degrees, partly cloudy throughout the day. Not a lot of sun that we're going to see. I know we all want to see it, but we're not going to see it. And then Sunday, we're moving into 28 degrees and with a low of 15, and it's going to be cloudy as well, so hopefully we'll see some sun pretty soon. And then Monday for the start of your work week, we're going to be at 23 degrees with the low of 12, and it's going to be cloudy too, so when are we going to see some sun? I just want to see it.
Thanks, Courtney. In sports today, we finally know who will head up Point Park's brand new track and field program, and he's from this area. The university has named Greensburg native Kelly Parsley to get the program off and running. Coach Parsley is not new to starting a program from scratch. He's done just that at 2 other colleges.
It can be difficult sometimes, but I think the first and most important thing is just getting the word out that we have a program. Being back in the city was always important to me, and having an opportunity to coach in the city of Pittsburgh has been a goal and a dream of mine.
Parsley has coached 12 years of collegiate track at other NCAA and NAIA colleges. Interested students should contact Athletic Director Dan Swaga at dswaga@pointpark.edu. Elsewhere in sports, the Pioneer women's basketball team broke the school record for wins in a season. They picked up their 23rd win of the season against St. Louis College of Pharmacy on February 2nd. Both the men and women end their regular season February 22nd. And finally, it's almost time for the Point Park Boys of Spring to start their journey toward another conference championship. I caught up with third baseman Jordan Kroll to talk some baseball. Most people think baseball is just a sport of pitching and hand-eye coordination. But for NAIA preseason All-American Jordan Kroll, it's much more than that. Batted .441, postseason honorary mention All-American. This season you come in preseason All-American. What's been the single biggest factor to your success on the field?
I feel like the game of baseball, but not only baseball, I feel like sports in general is 95% mental, you know? And the rest is whatever you guys want to say. But I feel like being mentally prepared is key, and without your head, you can't do anything else.
What are some of the things you do mentally to get ready for a game?
For me, particular, every time I go into the box, I like to take a deep breath, and slump my shoulders a little bit, and kind of look around and realize that what I'm doing here is so small. You know what I mean? You look at the trees and you look at the cars going, half the people don't even know what's going on right now.
Now, as far as music goes, is there any specific song, artist that you like to listen to before a game, before an at-bat?
Yeah, well, I like to honestly listen to some hardcore rap usually.
What's the ultimate goal for Jordan Kroll?
Whatever it is I'm doing, I want to be the best at what it is I'm doing. You know what I mean? And right now, my path is baseball, and I'm going to take it as far as it'll go, and I'm going to work as hard as I can, and, that fire is not leaving me until my knees are out, you know what I mean? So, we'll see.
Jordan Kroll and the 19th ranked Pioneers consistently stress the mental aspect of baseball, and they begin their journey February 15th.
Thanks, Phil. Courtney, how about one last look at weather for us?
Well, it looks like Sunday night we're going to be looking at a snowstorm, going into Monday morning, so we might have a bad commute to deal with, so I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on that.
And that does it for Point News this week. Be sure to join us next Thursday live at 2 p.m.
Have a great week, everybody.